Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hey there, Motorheads. This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. We love everything that's on four wheels or two. And when it comes to motorcycling, you know, you're out there to have a good time, but safety is the most important thing here, Keith. How does Eagle Lights sell safety?
Yeah, we sell lights and safety. We sell plug and play, high grade, high performance lighting for Harley Davidson Indian motorcycles.
So what's wrong with the OEM lights that these motorcycles come with?
They're not bright and they're not safe. We offer plug and play high grade replacements for them. They're 3 times brighter and they're the best you can get.
How important is safety when it comes to riding a motorcycle? You ride yourself.
Yeah, it's the most important. If you want to keep riding, you want to stay safe.
And naturally lights help you see, and they also help you to be seen, and that all starts with the headlights.
Sure, so these are plug and play, at least 3 times brighter than the stock headlight. So when an oncoming car is coming towards you, they're going to know you're there and you're going to be able to see what's on the road in front of you.
Excellent. Then you have a couple different styles here.
We have a variety of colors and a variety of styles. So we have our Halo style. It's an aesthetic upgrade. Some guys like that Halo look. We also have them available in chrome and black.
And let's go to the back of the bike now and talk taillights. Same sort of story there. You want it to look like it fits with your bike.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of different styles. This one's going to be one of our most popular. It's a strobing taillight. What ends up happening is when you hit the brake, it's going to strobe 3 times to let the people behind you know that you're there.
And most accidents on bikes happen when bikes are stopped, actually.
Yeah, at intersections and when turning. And that's when you're going to see the benefit of that light.
Cool. And you've got the red one and a couple other models as well?
Yep, we have them available in red, clear, and smoke. Today we have the red and the couple of smoked versions. And we have available in a bunch of different sizes. So these are layback design, which is a bit of a more sleek design. We also have them in a low profile if you don't want the blocky stock taillight.
Harley folks love to customize their bikes. They love different looks. How do you cover all that when it comes to the turn signals and the running lights?
So we have a bunch of different styles. These ones feature full running lights, all 48 LEDs. They light up white, and then they'll also color changes automatically to amber. So you don't actually have to do anything, it's all built into it. The ones on the bike that we installed, those have 24 white LEDs that go around the outside, and then there's going to be another 24 on the inside. A lot of guys like to use those to match the Halo style lights that we have.
And let's talk about installation for all of the lights here. You installed them in the studio. Didn't take a whole long time at all. How important is ease of installation to you?
Incredibly important. So we like to make things a 5-minute install. Taillight, it's 2 bolts and a plug. The headlight, 1 bolt and a plug. We like to make things simple. We have easy to follow instructions on our website, but honestly, you probably don't need them. It's pretty simple.
Obviously, folks are going to want to spend more time riding their bike than fixing it, so the ease of installation is important. Also, customer service when it comes to actually ordering these lights. How important is that to you at Eagle Lights?
Incredibly important. So if you call us, you talk to a real person. You talk to one of us. We'll help you. If you call us with a year, make, model, we'll get you the right lights.
And speaking of year, make, model, how many different bikes do you cover? Is it just Harleys? Do you have other stuff available?
In the thousands. I mean, we cover Harley and Indians, main specialty, but we carry stuff from Honda, Triumph, you name it. We have a lot of lights for it.
And how do I know what you have in stock for my bike?
It's pretty simple. You just go to eaglelights.com, you punch in the year, make, model of your bike, and it will tell you exactly what you need.
So if you're not just looking for a headlight, then finding if it fits your bike, you put in your bike and it'll tell you everything that's available for that motorcycle. It's super cool. Folks that use your products, how much feedback do you get from them, and how much of your R&D comes from that?
A lot of it. We talk to Harley and Indian motorcycle owners all the time. They tell us what they don't like, and we release new products based on their feedback.
How important is it that you guys at Eagle Lights are also riders and you know what works, what doesn't work, and that sort of thing?
I mean, I ride myself. I mean, that's how we started the company. So we wanted to make better lights because there were none available.
I know you're concerned with delivering a high-quality light that's easy to install. What if there's an issue? What kind of warranty do you offer?
Any of our lights, it's a lifetime warranty. As long as you own it, we'll take care of you.
Can't get any better than that. These lights are super high quality, way better than the OEM lights. They're going to help you be seen, and they're going to help you see out there on the road. Check them out at eaglelights.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com just around the corner. Keep it right here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. CampbellsCustomCare.com, home of the Don Detail Spray. And by PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Now we've got this Tesla in here. You're looking at the world's cleanest wheel right there. And that's because Sky's the Limit Car Care, and Corey took care of it for us a few minutes ago. Now, if you're looking for high quality car care products and an easy way to do it, Sky's the Limit is the answer to everything. Corey, you guys are the one-stop shop for all things car care.
Absolutely.
What can we find on your website?
Pretty much everything you need, from washing to protecting to maintaining the vehicle.
Gotcha. And stuff you brought here today, some of the tools and some of the chemicals you need to clean a wheel in particular. But again, you guys can cover the car from stem to stern. But here, this is a bucket. I know you're saying it's just a bucket, but this is not just a bucket. Tell me what makes this special.
The best thing about this bucket is that it has the Detailing Outlaws Bucketizer on it. It's basically a bucket organizer. The company that makes this, Detailing Outlaws, they are based in Germany. They make everything in Germany. They care so much about not outsourcing to places that don't care so much about human rights and how people are treated, that they even made the cast itself in Germany at great expense. Obviously, you could make that much cheaper in some other countries, but they care a lot about that. The cool thing about the Bucketizer is that it's got two tracks on here, so you can snap it onto a regular bucket or this special bucket that has this grit guard seal on it, so that you just pop on like that and this won't come off. It does the same thing with a regular bucket. To snap it off, you just pop it that way. Another cool trick is a lot of people out there that really care about detail in their cars, they're probably very familiar with the grit guard in the bottom there and the grit guard washboard. So when they were creating the Detailing Outlaws Bucketizer, they made it the right size to where you could fit it right there in the bucket for mobile detailers, for guys that are on the go, so they can fit everything right in there. And then when you're going to utilize this during your wheel cleaning or whatever you want to use your Bucketizer for, you can put all your tools in here. It's got drain holes on the bottom, so everything drains out. And the great thing about this is, the worst thing you can do is be dipping your hands in the bucket here and getting chemicals and everything on your hands. But with the bucket organizer, you can see everything there. It drains out, you can keep it clean.
And let's talk about the tools here. Now, this glove is different from most I've seen. It's got the thumb in it.
Yes. This is from a company called Microfiber Madness, made by the same gentleman that makes the Detailing Outlaws Bucketizer, my buddy Thomas in Germany. Same thing with the Microfiber Madness products that he makes. These are all 100% made in Germany, and the cool thing about this fabric is it rinses out really easy. So most microfiber, when you go to rinse it out, it doesn't rinse out so easy. It gets knotted up a lot easier. The great thing about this one is, like you said, the thumb. You can just wrap that thumb right around the rim and get all up inside the wheel a lot easier. And then they even thought of making it ambidextrous, because obviously some people are left-handed.
And you've done the same thing with this brush. First of all, I'm noticing the thumb guard here, which I really appreciate. I've gotten bloody knuckles doing wheels so many times.
So yeah, especially the professional detailers appreciate that, because they're hitting those rims all day long. You know, it's got a great handle on it, so when it gets slippery, your hand doesn't slip off of this while you're trying to clean the barrels. And kind of the main point of this brush is to get inside of the barrels. As you know, most people don't really get into the barrels. It's hard to get in there with a wash mitt. Most brushes that are intended to get in the wheel barrels have like nylon bristles or bristles that'll scratch the rim. And there's really nothing else out there that is nearly as safe as this product is for cleaning the barrels without any scratches. The great thing about Microfiber Madness Incredibrush is that you have a removable cover here. It's not going to be the cheapest product in the world, because it's not the cheapest product in the world. It's very well made. It's high quality. It's 100% stainless steel in here, so it's never going to rust or break. And then you have this replaceable cover.
And notice it's flat. That enables you to get in some of the narrow spaces.
Exactly. You can get right between the rotor and the rim. You can throw this in the washing machine, so it's removable, replaceable, rewashable if you're just taking care of your own car. The cover itself will probably last you a good 2-3 years, but when it does wear down, whenever that is, you can just take that off and put a new one on, you know, just buy the cover itself and replace it.
Cool. The tools are amazing. Quickly, let's talk about the two chemicals you used on the wheels.
So the first chemical we used was Tuga Wheel Cleaner. This is a great wheel cleaner for pretty much any situation. If you had some really heavy tar buildup, then there might be times when you use like a solvent or something, but the great thing about this one is it's acid-free. So usually if you have a lot of filth and brake dust and stuff that's really bonded on there, you need an acid to clean it, but most people shouldn't be using an acid on their wheels. It's really can be dangerous. You can damage the finish, and it's not great. So in this case, you have a pH neutral one, but it still cleans like it's almost like an acid cleaner. So it's really, really effective, but it's really, really safe as well. It's got a nice gel-like formula to it, so it kind of sticks to the wheel. You just spray it on there and then let it sit for a minute and wash right off.
And what'd you use for the finish there?
So this is the sealant. Normally, if you were going to really seal a wheel up or wax a wheel, to really get everywhere, you have to remove it from the car, and so you can get all up into that barrel. If you don't do that and you kind of just want to do a half and half job, then you're going to have to stick your hand all up into awkward places. In some rims, you have tons of spokes. You might have thousands of, the little spokes, or you might have real tight spaces between the spokes. And in that case, you're going to have to try to get all up in there with your hands. You could take 20, 30 minutes trying to wax that one wheel and not do a good job. But with the Hydro 2 from CarPro, you literally just spray a few sprays, and it's basically you're adding 5 to 10 seconds to what you just spent washing your wheel. And now it's sealed. It beads up great. It's really glossy, it's highly durable, and it all happens in just a few seconds, and then you don't have to do it again for a few months.
Nothing but the highest quality products on SkyCarCare.com. You can find all this and a whole lot more if you just dial them up on the old web. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com, so keep it right here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, coming to you from the Campbell's Custom Care Studio.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. If you've been in the market, you've seen all kinds of companies that make tools and they make products for sanding and finishing on your automobile. Well, now here's a one-stop shop here. Dylan, it's Rupes. Why haven't I heard of you guys?
Well, so Rupes has actually been around for a long time, since 1947 actually, and they were founded in Italy. We just recently 2012, came to the U.S. with our Bigfoot polishing system, and kind of exploded all over the detailing market, and it's finding its way into body shops and all kinds of things. But really, we are, to your point, a company that focuses entirely on sanding, polishing, finishing for automotive finishes. Our flagship system, though, is the Bigfoot polishing system. That's a large stroke random orbital system that we innovated. And there's tons of copies of this out there on the market, but we invented the technology. And we actually build it here in the U.S. We have our Colorado facility where things like this LHR-15 are assembled, and we opened a pad and compound manufacturing facility in Houston, Texas. So really, when you buy a system from us, you're getting a truly 100% American-made system, and if there's anything that isn't, it's coming out of our Italian company. So we are really kind of a solution-based company that's looking at solving finishing and sanding problems, and we're doing it right here in the U.S.
And you talk about systems. How do I know that's not just a ploy to get me to buy all my stuff from Rupes?
Because this was such innovative and new technology, there weren't pads and compounds designed to support tools like this. It really would just chew up the pads that were existing on the market from other companies. So we, out of necessity, essentially had to become a pad manufacturer and a compound blending company. So I like to tell people these are products that are born out of the same womb. The pads, the compounds, and the tool are all designed together to work in a really synergistic way. Makes it so that there's low vibration, incredible ease of use. The results are fantastic. We can do a lot more in a lot less time with a lot less product. And that's really, efficiency is what we're all about.
Now here's something these guys showed me before we got started here, Todd. This is your DA, and I made a mistake of calling it a sander.
It's actually both. So this is our LHR-12 Duetto, which is a dual action polisher and sander. It can be used for both. And what makes this really unique, Dylan talked about how we are a professional company, but what's cool about this tool is the end user can use it. Your guy in the garage who wants a professional show car finish can grab it, put on the right pad and compound, which we're gonna walk you guys through, and create an amazing result really, really fast.
How does that stand out from other products on the market?
What's nice about the Duetto, which is its name in Italian, that means duet. So your end user can put a piece of sandpaper on it, knock out some deep scratches and imperfections, or they can use it just to polish. Now, everything that we have except for the motor is assembled in the United States. The motor comes from Italy. So the quality is amazing, and because we have a factory in the US, the customer can ship it right back to our facility in Colorado and get it repaired at the factory that builds it. It's like sending your car back to the factory for a warranty repair.
And there again, we're talking efficiency, using the same tool for two different things.
Same tool for everything, yeah. And the size of this, the orbit and the pad diameter means it's really the only tool you need to go around the whole car.
You know, a lot of those, you hold on to them and you get fatigued by the end of the day. You lose strength in your hands from holding on to that all the time. How does that work with Rupes?
With a lot of dual action polishers, because they have an orbital movement, they vibrate. It's just natural of throwing this backing plate around. Rupes, when we developed the large diameter random orbital polishers in 2012, we realized the importance of balancing the system. So when you put the right pad on it, it's almost vibration free. In fact, it's one of the biggest things our professional customers tell us is how they use these things all day and have no vibration, no fatigue. We had a guy come up to Dylan and I at SEMA 3 years ago and actually broke down in tears because he couldn't polish anymore due to carpal tunnel syndrome. And he said our polishers are allowing him to provide for his family.
Now you guys have talked about the Rupes system.
Sure.
It's not just about the tool, you brought the compound as well. And earlier, we saw how you can apply all of that to the hood of a car that we brought in.
Yeah, we actually took the Duetto with our Uno Protect, which is a one-step polish, compound, and wax. So it kind of covers the whole gambit of paint correction and adds protection. It's a great product for customers to use in their garage. So we took a car out in the parking lot that was a little beat up, and all we did with that was apply our yellow wool, which is a medium wool polishing pad. You add a little compound on it. You take the Duetto, set it on speed 3 or 4, apply it slowly and smoothly in overlapping passes, let it sit for about 15 minutes and wipe it off, and literally transform that car into a show car finish in all of 30 minutes.
Need about 6 gallons of that for my vehicle.
Oh, well, one of the nice things about Rupus is because of our efficiency, you only need a couple drops.
Check out rupususa.com. They have system-based solutions for your application. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by dragonfiretools.com just around the corner. Keep it right here.
Motorhead Garage presented by dragonfiretools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Next Gen, the most powerful detailing products ever made. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM to radio since 1977. And by Easy Uft, flip, lock, and go.
All right, here we go. You're strapped into a top-fueled dragster. Light turns green, you nail it to the floor. Man, you're pinned to the seat. You're going 100 miles an hour in less than a second. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. It's all about horsepower and torque, my friends. And I'll show you right here. There's a mathematical formula for it. Mathematically, horsepower equals torque multiplied by RPM. Well, we don't want to mess with all that math, so I'll tell you what, I'll show you an easy way we could do it. Now this is a weight right here on a pulley, and if I'm pulling it up and down, that basically exemplifies torque, the force to do it with. Now the rate I do it, if I do it really fast or really slow, the speed, that exemplifies horsepower. That's a good look at horsepower and torque, but actually the manufacturers build in that indicated horsepower. That's what's going on with the theoretical, you know what it's supposed to be. But you have frictional horsepower losses in there, and what comes out is brake horsepower. Frictional losses like bearings, valves, crankshaft, oil pump, all kinds of stuff going on inside of there, Len. But you know, oil makes a difference in the motor, and you got two here, and I see this 20 weight and 50 weight, and if I shake them, well, they feel the same to me. Why is that?
Well, that's because you're looking at those oils at room temperature, and oil viscosity is not actually determined at room temperature. It's actually determined at 100 degrees C or 212 degrees F.
And that brings us to this chart here. This is pretty interesting. All oils are not created equal, even though it says it's a 20 weight, there's a difference in there.
That's correct. If you take a look at the right-hand side of that chart, they picked out the 50 weight category since we're talking dragsters. The 50 weight category is actually a range from 16.3 centistokes to less than 21.9. A centistoke is a way that you measure viscosity on a very fine format.
So the bottom line is you're either going to have protection or you're going to have performance. A little bit of each is kind of blend into the oil.
That's correct. You want a really good balance based on the type of equipment that you're putting the oil in.
Check out Dominator Racing Oil at the AMSOIL website.
At dragonfiretools.com, you can get a workbench that's over 9 feet long, or if you don't have that much space, or you don't need that much space, 7 feet, Lou. And this one has 17 drawers. Why is this one so popular?
This is our 17-drawer Midnight Pro Series workbench, and the reason why this one is so popular in the 7-foot series is because of these 41-inch wide drawers, Dave. They give you a lot of storage capacity, and we also have a wide, deep drawer there for even your tallest sockets.
Well, let's talk about sockets now. How do they fit in the more shallow drawer?
You can still stand deep well sockets up even in the shallow drawers, and the drawers pull out 100%. So the stuff in the back of the drawer, you're going to be able to get it from the front or the side of the drawer.
I've used a few cheap toolboxes in my time, and if you overload the drawers, they're hard to open, they start to rack, they might be hard to close. How have you solved that problem at Dragonfire Tools?
So we're using heavy-duty rails on these drawers. The single rail drawers are rated for 200 pounds, and the deep double rail drawers are rated for 400 pounds.
And what's the construction? What are these workbenches made out of?
So we have a 14-gauge 304 stainless steel top on them. We have a 14-gauge tubular welded steel powder-coated frame. We have a 16 gauge galvanized steel drawer bodies, and we have 14 gauge drawer fronts with 14 gauge 304 stainless steel handles also.
The quality is there. The pros love these things from dragonfiretools.com. You can go there and get one for yourself. Enter the promo code Motorhead to get yourself a discount and free shipping. All right, check this out. We came across this 1978 Jeep Golden Eagle at the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion 2023 edition. It's a beautiful restoration by Jeff Black and the crew at Truckers Warehouse. Now, we talked to Jeff, and we just had to make him the PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. Jeff says he bought this Jeep about 8 months ago, and it was a total rust bucket. Just look at it now. The interior upgraded from the original denim, but Jeff wanted to pay homage to that, so he still used the original buttons on the seats. I mean, he thought of every detail. Under the hood, man, that is an upgrade as well. That's an LT motor that makes tons of power, and get this, 600 pounds of torque. Jeff's always loved off-roading, and since he bought Truckers Warehouse, he says he's been upfitting more Jeeps than any other vehicle. By the way, Jeff's next project, well, he just bought a 1983 CJ7, and his plan is to have that one ready for the Jeep Invasion in 2024. If you're into things that go, cars, trucks, planes, boats, motorcycles, whatever it is, you could qualify to be Motorhead of the Week. Maybe you just like our show, and we're glad you do. Just send us a note at motorheadgarage.tv. Hey, I want to give a special shout out to our friends at PaintedAutoParts.com for sponsoring Motorhead of the Week, and a super special thanks to you for watching Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. We will do it again next week. We hope you join us then. From our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, we'll see you next time. Drive safely.